I'm just saying, if you're going to join us, you need to sit down quietly so you don't make noise on the episode. That's too much noise.
He's going to go and put his
That's going to get picked up.
his glass trousers on.
Yeah, this is my new plastic coat. It's made out of bags and tin foil.
Hey, Phil, why are you getting into a wetsuit?
Why is your jacket made out of dream catchers?
That was the best one. Well done.
What are those things called? Jingly air things?
Dream catchers.
No, they're not dream catchers. They're fucking...
Wind chimes.
Wind chimes. That's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
I love
Why
a
are you
good wind
dressed as
chime.
a one-man band?
It's meandering movies. It's meandering movies. It's meandering movies. So won't you lend an ear?
Hello and welcome to the Meandering Movie Podcast, where we like to talk about films, TV, video games, pop culture, celebrity news, and pretty much everything else that pops into our mind at any point. I'm your main host, Gary Copeland.
I still haven't thought of a name, even though this is the third time we've tried
Jimmy
to record
Savile's
this episode.
PR man.
I'm Jimmy Savile's PR man, Gavin.
And in front of me today,
Skittles.
Skittles. I'm seated in a different position.
You're seated?
I'm seated in a different position. And I feel
And
like my
it's really
energy...
thrown us
I
off.
feel like my energy's up, though. I feel good.
Your energy's up, but also the energy is off, because we are all over the place.
Yeah, we're not good today.
I mean,
But Ryan had
honestly,
a-
this feels like every other episode we've ever recorded.
Ryan had a
Just
really nice
antagonistic
turkey sandwich, so that's
It
good.
was so good. And
turkey with pigs under blankets.
that's what they called it. Sainsbury's called it that for legal reasons.
Do you want to tell the listeners what you do around this time of
I
year?
think you think this makes me less cool than I,
I think
am.
because it absolutely makes you less cool, and that's why I want you
I
to
go
do it.
around-
Wait. I just want to preface this. Coming from a man who had a
Preface, but sure.
WordPress website where he wrote movie articles for an audience of 2?
Fuck you too. I was quite a successful freelance writer for a while.
Well, then where the fuck are all your listeners? Why are they not here? Or your readers?
Well, because they weren't on my blog.
you should have fucking
promoted
us.
I mean, successful in terms of the money I made.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every year,
And then I
I
stopped.
go to popular supermarket chains
Yes, please
and
tell
I
us.
buy their Christmas sandwiches and I rate them.
It's awesome.
It's not awesome.
It is awesome.
Okay, again, I've said it once. I'll say if I did this, you would all make fun of me.
Yeah, but that's because it's just, it's how you tell them.
What do you mean? How you just told that in the most
It
plain way ever?
in fairness, it does sound like a BuzzFeed article.
It does sound good, and you look like a BuzzFeed article right now.
You do.
Can't get me with that audio podcast.
This week, we are going to be talking about our best movies of the year and trying to keep things on more of a positive spin, unlike everything else we do on this podcast. Try and keep it down to one crappy film, the worst film that we did see this year, rather than just moaning about the terrible year 2019 was for film.
Yes.
Which was, we have discussed the fact it was pretty bad.
It has been a stinker. I'm on a 100 movie challenge this year, and I'm 5 off. And then the last film I'm going to see at number 100, not the last film, but my number 100 is going to be the new Star Wars.
Woo.
I'm excited. I know you guys aren't, but I
I'm
am.
just curious.
But I kind of perused my list this morning to choose like what are my best films of the year, and there is so much trash. Like, so much utter garbage in there.
Yeah.
I mean, when I looked at my list of all the films I've seen this year, one thing I noticed was it's probably the least amount of films I've seen in a year in a very long time, because there was just so little at the cinema that I was like eager to go and see. And then when I did go see these films, I would come out and just be like, that existed.
Yeah.
It was like we've done a lot of movie roundups this year. I've gone back and listened to a couple of them, like when we talked about like Aladdin or Yesterday or fucking High Life, all these kind of movies. Like, we came out of all these movies and you were like, oh, I enjoyed them, and I was like, it was fine.
In fairness, though, that was due to your crippling depression you had all year.
Well, it's alcoholism and the depression and everything else. But apart from that,
I had lots of crippling depression last year, which meant I didn't see that many films. However, it's made my 2019 good because I've just spent it watching all the good films from 2018.
Nice.
And I've pretty much watched none of the shit from 2019.
but you've also
You have a bad 2020 then.
Yeah.
Now you're a year behind. That's the problem.
No, but
because I'm not going to watch any of the films I've missed from 2018.
well, you're going to watch some of the ones that we're going to talk about, hopefully, if you've not seen them. And we're
I
gonna,
think
I might watch
Gavin-
some of the ones Gary mentions.
Gavin, I think you should start us off, pal. I think you
Yeah,
should
I think
get
we're
the
just-
episode going.
I guess I'll just give a warning to the audience, to Ryan, to Audio Boy, but primarily the one person I want to warn is Ryan himself. That I'm about to go full wank. And I don't need you to give me the wank symbol the entire time I'm talking.
but you know
I
he's
am
gonna.
making absolutely no promises.
So please just
I am
settle
so
in.
prepared for a sore arm.
So you're going for number one, like best film of the year.
I'll get
Numero
I'll get
uno.
to my best film.
Oh,
of
so
the
you're
year.
going three up.
Let's do three.
Well,
three up.
I was just going to get my worst out of the way and then do my.
No, do your worst last.
You was last.
I thought we were going to get negativity out of the way and then do positivity.
Okay, yeah. You know what? Go for it.
I'll get my worst out of the way.
Do your worst first.
My worst film I probably saw this year, and it's just for me personally because of what it represents and why it doesn't need to exist, is the movie The Lion King. I feel it like
Yeah.
you can't argue with it.
I was so
can't
ready
argue.
to fight, but
But it's just
not
like,
gonna.
it's like see, the thing with The Lion King is like there are definitely like play-by-play worse movies. Like there are either movies are worse made, or the acting was bad, or the direction was terrible, or the message was bad. Like for a wee bit, I did consider Joker.
Just wait for mine.
Ooh, we'll get to yours. Yeah, like at one point I was considering going for Joker just because of like what that film represents and stuff. But I thought, no, Lion King was so pointless, so empty, so disappointing that I'm just like, yeah, what this, and it made so much money, a terrifying amount of money, that I'm just like, we as a species have failed.
The biggest knock-on effect from The Lion King and most of these new Disney live-action films, which I wasn't prepared for. I like listening to Disney music in the car. I like sticking on a Disney sing-along playlist. It lifts my spirits, makes me feel good.
Yeah.
I click classic Disney sing-along playlist on Spotify, and it's full of Moana, Frozen, and all of the live-action versions of classic Disney. And I'm like, this isn't classic. This isn't a classic playlist anymore. What the fuck? So now I got to listen to Donald Glover and Beyonce
Yeah, I was
sing
going to say, like,
fucking Can
you
You Feel
listen
the
to
Love
Donald
Tonight?
Glover and Beyonce do their whatever song they
Give me
fucking-
Elton John, give me Matthew Broderick, and give me Tim Rice. Please.
And a wee bit of Jeremy Irons until he got bored and got someone else to do it.
But yeah, worst film, Lion King. I could like Velvet Buzzsaw or Joker, or I just saw Michael Bay's recent movie Six Underground. I could list all these films, but it's just like with Lion King and what it represents, I'm just like, it's not a good movie. It actively seemed to tear down the original by just being so unimaginative.
Yeah.
I'm just like, what was the point in that movie? So yeah, that was my
And I know we spoke about it before, but the fucking character designs.
off.
They've made them so photorealistic that it's just there's no character.
There's no
in
emotion.
any
Yeah.
character.
There's no emotion. There's no character.
I did see that thing, and it was like, it's amazing how much you cannot resonate with a lion when it does not have eyebrows.
Right? Yeah.
So yeah, that was the worst movie.
Worst film. There you go. Gavin's worst film, 2019, The Lion King. Don't go see it.
So I guess we'll start. My three favorite films of this year. I'm not going to put them in any order except the last one, which will be my favorite movie of this year. But I'll just start saying
So you're
movies.
putting them in an order.
Yeah, technically I'm putting them in an order. Also, I had 6 films, but they won't let me talk about all 6. So I'll just.
Do you want to get back into why we won't let you talk about 6?
Yeah, I'm just going to talk about 3.
We won't let him talk about 6 because Gavin sets the parameters for these episodes and what we talk about, and he set the parameter of 3 films,
I didn't.
and he changed his mind an hour ago.
I can't pick. There's too many great movies. They all
It's
touched
only
me in
6
different
movies.
ways.
And we refused. And we've told him if he does say 6, we'll cut them out.
Yeah, he's
I mean,
been,
I could
he's been
just-
forewarned.
If,
I could
like,
just
he
list
wants
the-
6, but if he says 6, he's getting 2.
I could
So
just list the 6 things and not say anything about them.
Do it.
right.
I won't
Do
do
it. Do it and see what your contribution to the episode is.
Okay,
Your contribution to the episode is I'm just going to get Gary to get you. You've said the word 6 underground, so I'm just going to get you. I'm going to get Gary to cut it so it just says you just say best film of the year, 6 underground, 6 underground, 6 underground, and we're not going to let you do anything else.
I'll just edit it. I'll fix it in the edit, mate.
Okay, so the first film I'm going to talk about is Honey Boy. It's a very recent release. It's the movie. The way you're sitting, Gary, is so fascinating to me right now.
I'm listening. This is
Okay.
how I listen.
Okay, I don't know if I like the way you listen. Stop doing the
Hand
wank.
is up.
Stop doing the wank gesture. The first movie I'm talking about is Honey Boy. It's Shia LaBeouf's film. Is telling the story of the relationship he had with his father when he was a kid. Shia LaBeouf plays his father. Noah Jupe plays young Shia LaBeouf.
Oh, is that Honey Boy?
And Lucas Hedges plays older Shia LaBeouf when he goes to rehab. The movie is fucking brutal
Why didn't Shia LaBeouf just play Shia LaBeouf when he went to rehab? He's not that old.
because he's playing his dad.
Yeah, but he He could have
Watch
done.
the movie, it works. Like fucking Lucas Hedges does a spot on like performance as Shia LaBeouf. It's insane. It's like it's actually like you're watching Shia LaBeouf. It's weird.
Well, you are. You're watching Shia LaBeouf play his dad.
No, but no. It's the thing. That's the crazy thing about the film. You're watching Lucas Hedges play Shia LaBeouf, but Shia LaBeouf isn't in the film because he's playing his dad, and his dad's like there in body and spirit, and it's fucking wild.
Once you finish gushing about this film, because I want to hear you gush, I'm going to give one slight improvement to this movie.
Okay.
But continue.
Honey Boy is brutal. It's an emotionally brutal film that doesn't. Shia LaBeouf pulls no punches with this film. He
Is
wrote
Shia
it.
LaBeouf's dad called Kaluf?
No, he's not called Kaluf. I don't know why I try and bring a bit of culture to you two. Because all you do is just make jokes and laugh. I wanted to do 6 films and they didn't let me. I didn't even get through one, and now they're just
Say the whole name.
now they're just laughing.
The whole name, Gavin.
Kaluf LaBeouf. I'm just gonna take a drink of water. Just take a wee pause.
That's the fucking most I've laughed on this.
Sorry, I really thought about not doing it.
Oh. Cool. I'm ready.
So yeah, the first film was Honey Boy. The next one,
So my tiny one piece improvement is what sounds like a good film, a great film even. They should have John Malkoviched it. Shia LaBeouf playing everyone.
no,
Yeah, 100%.
no, because then it takes away from the emotional resonance of the film.
Yeah, not turn it into a comedy. It'd be brilliant.
That's not the point of the film.
No, I'm
Shia
just,
LaBeouf and Eddie Murphy playing everyone.
The whole point of the film is it's the tragedy of Shia LaBeouf's younger life
I
story and his
appreciate
father,
that.
and it's beautiful
What
and it's
I'm saying
heartbreaking,
is
and I cried twice.
you could
but
have
it's
made
also
it
because I
better by
was
turning
sick
it
when
into a
watching it.
comedy and making Shia LaBeouf play everybody.
Have you watched all these films in the last week because you were ill?
No, this is the only one that made it onto the list that's recent.
Cool.
Okay.
Number 2.
Number 2 is
So that was your third favorite. This is your second favorite.
Sure, let's do it that way. It's gonna be.
Wow, if only you only had 3 to choose from.
I know, but I've got 6 and I have to pick one, and I don't know which one I want
Well,
to
you
pick.
didn't do this before we started recording.
No, I
you
tried.
looked at your phone for about 20
I know,
minutes
and
while I couldn't get the
fucking
recording
pick
stuff
one.
done.
I could. I'm sorry, I couldn't pick one.
He was looking at Scuds.
I was looking at Scuds of me.
Wouldn't show me.
I'm gonna go for Midsummer.
Really?
Yes. There we go. Midsummer. I went back and listened to the episode in which we reviewed Midsummer on the podcast. I think that's the July movie.
Yeah, about then.
Pre-Skittles.
Or May.
Pre-Skittles.
It is pre-Skittles. A safer time for Gavin. For me, Midsummer is just an insanely visceral movie watching experience. Yes, there's the wank symbol from Ryan already. It's much like Honey Boy. It's brutal, but it's so worth it. It's Ari Aster's best film, in my personal opinion, whose previous film was Hereditary. Midsummer, number 2.
You keep leaving these wee pauses as if you want us to clap when you're finished.
No, I just don't want to say anything and make you laugh at me again.
We've not laughed at you. We laughed at Kaluf LaBeouf.
Hereditary was a great film. Midsummer was a great film. Did you see Midsummer?
No. It's on my list.
It was really, really good. It is, and Gavin's not wrong. Like it starts off breaking you down, and then it just kind of keeps you at this fucking. I'm going to say something wanky now. It does keep you in a really weirdly vulnerable level the whole movie. You're just kind of watching it and very aware that it's not like nothing's like what it seems it is. And then it just there's some really fucking horrible moments.
I'm going to watch that with a hangover and really make it worse.
Oh yeah, that's the way to do it. Skin the fool.
And my number 1 movie of 2019.
Out of 6.
Sure. It's. I mean, I'm going to do the worthy mentions thing and say the other ones. But my number 1 movie of 2019 is a movie called Capernaum. And I'm going to look at both your faces.
No, you've told me about this though.
Has Ryan seen Capernaum?
No.
Oh, I thought you put your hands up as if you'd seen it. And I got really
I
excited.
know what he's doing. He's got 2 dicks in those hands.
Oh, okay. So, for context, I keep saying for context, I'm going to stop saying that now. Audio Boy and I went and saw this back in February or January. It's a Lebanese film
I'm only laughing because the character that me and Ryan have made you, which is this weirdly comical, like artsy, wanky, like, and then on the episodes where we dig our heels in and start calling you that, and you're like, I'm not even like that. My top film of 2019 is a Lebanese film about. What is it about?
So Capernaum, it's about a young boy living in Lebanon who runs away from home and kind of sets out on his own path, and it takes him down a really bad path. And the kid's 12 years old, and this kid is phenomenal. It's one of the most moving performances I've ever seen. There's one of my grandiose statements that Ryan loves, but I have to make that grandiose statement. It is astonishing. He, for all intents and purposes, could have just been a real human boy. Just real.
He wants a real human boy.
He was a real human boy. I meant to say a real human boy.
I was so nice and I didn't even make a joke and you just
No, I always fuck it up in the end. But yeah, I remember just being so gripped by the movie. And by the end of the movie, I think both Audio Boy and I were just crumpled messes of human beings for the kind of experience that film takes you on. It's unrelenting. It's unfair. It tells a story that a lot of kids in that part of the world go through. And it's just astonishing, that movie. Absolutely astonishing. Please, if you can, go see Capernaum in any sort of format that
Can you buy it now? Is it rentable?
it'll be rentable, yeah. Probably on Prime. Just... Cool. It is subtitled for people who don't want to read a book.
There are other streaming services available.
There
are.
But yeah, Capernaum is my number one film.
Number one film in the year.
Give us your honourable opponents or whatever you're called.
The honourable
Switchblade Massacres.
worthy mentions were Paddleton, 8th Grade, and The Farewell.
Paddington.
Paddleton.
Okay, no, you said that.
Go watch Paddleton, 8th Grade, and The Farewell as well.
Maybe not like. Go get Capernaum first, because apparently that's the other three weren't good enough to get on the list. So.
Yeah, so.
All those films I talked about, go watch them.
If anything,
Those are the six
No, but go
best...
see the three that you mentioned, because the other three aren't worth it. Because otherwise you would have like talked about them in
I'll
depth.
beat you to death.
I'm just saying, you would have talked about them in depth if you cared about
Those
them.
are the six best films of 2019.
and Gab probably would have brought them up and talked about them.
I do like all three of your films that you've picked as your top three. Like the creme de la creme.
I know what you're
are
about to say.
All about
sad and
vulnerable,
heartbreaking.
all about vulnerable people.
Yeah.
It's almost... I'm an emotional masochist. I like a film to hurt me and I feel something. I don't get... Like, I watched Jumanji: The Next Level. It's a very entertaining film. I had fun. I've never thought about it since. Capernaum, I saw back in January. Never stopped thinking about it. Because that film makes an impact. That's what I like about film. So, Capernaum, Paddleton, 8th Grade, Midsummer, The Farewell, and Honey Boy are all films you need to go and see.
Ryan, what's your least favourite film in 2019?
Okay, this is where I've got some honourable.
I have many honourable mentions for the shittest films.
I'm not at the end yet, but I also had started watching Michael Bay's Six Underground. And fucking hell. The first 10 minutes of that film are like being on a plane that's going down. You feel sick, you're scared, you don't know what's going to happen, you don't know why it's happening. That's a good... In fact, the whole film's a bit like that. Ryan Reynolds is Deadpool without the burns, and then sometimes
as he is in every film.
he's
right?
now just stuck in Deadpool
because
forever.
Detective Pikachu was Deadpool as a Pikachu.
Yeah.
Another film I went to see last week was Last Christmas.
With Emilia Clarke.
I went to see this because my partner wanted to see it, but don't get me wrong, I like a trashy film. We went to see it.
You love Christmas as well.
I also love Christmas.
And you're a good boyfriend.
Yeah, and I don't think that constitutes being a good boyfriend. I just wanted to go to the cinema.
No, you didn't.
Get it for free. That was a big clincher. So, I'm ready. I'm ready for trash. Like, Channel 5 hangover trash. There's nothing quite like it.
Yep.
It was beyond that. It was fucking garbage as garbage. It was awful. So bad. So oh God, I cannot even... This is not my worst film of the year. So I can't even take the time to explain why it was bad. Don't go and see it. Don't waste your money unless you want to hurt yourself. It was probably the most
see that movie.
the most expensive self-harm I've ever been through.
You went for free.
But my least favourite film of the year. And yeah, I know.
Wow.
My least favourite film of the year, because of sheer and utter disappointment.
He's going to say
It's
Capernaum.
Avengers Endgame.
Ooh, interesting.
If Avengers Endgame was a one-time film, it would not be on this list. But the fact that they've taken 10 years to build to what I think was the most disappointing, like
Exit
kind of like
strategy for the first
out breath.
23 movies, 26.
Yeah, it was
23.
under
22?
fulfilling, unsatisfying, boring, didn't really make sense, mulch. It was like they just got too deep into their own wormhole of these films and made what was 100% the worst film I've watched all year. I've never left the cinema.
Avengers
feeling
Endgame was the worst film you watched all year.
Yeah, because I've never left the cinema feeling so deeply hurt and disappointed by a film.
Wow.
It says a lot for Marvel's back, like their history, though. Like you were expecting such great heights, you know?
Yeah,
it's like it's a good. I mean, it's a shame for Endgame, but it's a good sign for Marvel in Ryan's world.
Yeah, like
Kind of.
And I really loved Infinity War.
Yeah.
Which is the worst bit. It was like the bit just before was so good, so tasty.
We discussed it in depth.
Yes.
In depth at the end of our
Depth.
and the end of our 20, a 3-part. Was that a 3-part episode?
We did like we ranked all 21, 22 of the Marvel movies and then watched Endgame and reviewed it.
Yeah.
So
Well,
much of it annoyed me.
I don't think either of us were quite as fucking
It's like,
harsh as it
you,
is. You've just
you really
been.
liked it. I enjoyed it except for the middle portion, but we're
Yeah.
both like, it's a good film.
It's not.
When it came to writing up my lists of worst and best, it was never even a film I thought about until like 2 days later. I was like, oh yeah, fuck, Avengers came out this year.
I see. I am with you though. What's interesting is none of the Marvel films this year have gotten near my top 3. You know what I mean? Like,
And you love Spider-Man.
and I fucking loved Spider-Man. Yeah, I really did. But it's not on my
Funny
top
you
3.
should say that. Because Spider-Man Far From Home is on my top 3.
Way!
Wow.
But it's on my top 3 again, not necessarily because it's one of the best films I've ever seen, but I left Endgame thinking they kind of released the what was coming out, like the new things they were going to make afterwards. Nothing was really gripping it for me, and I was like, oh, that's maybe the end of an era.
Yeah.
Maybe Marvel are going to stop making
Good movie.
good movies. And I was like, well, we're going to go and see Far From Home. Went to see it with Gav,
Hello.
and it was like
Don't know why I did that.
sorry, I went to see it with Jimmy Sapple's PR man. And it was like a defibrillator. It was such a good kick. It was really fun.
Start the heart.
It was like Tom Holland was great.
Do you feel it also helped that we had like 4 pints beforehand?
Nope,
Also, gin. We had quite a few pints and a bit of gin.
beforehand.
Yeah.
No. Because
It certainly helped my experience.
If I didn't like it, I probably would have gone to sleep.
I rewatched it recently. I fucking enjoyed it just as much as I did. The
We had
first
quite a
time.
few pints before we went to see Joker. I still thought that was horse shit. But yeah, I really liked it. I thought the character of Mysterio was done really well. Probably one of the best portrayals of gay characters from comic to screen.
Yeah.
Because so many characters now, like for instance, they're all really bad. The Mandarin. There you go. There's a really bad one.
They haven't really done him properly.
Baron Zemo. There's another one.
Baron Zemo's another one. Apparently, they're bringing him back with his purple mask. You seen
Let's-
that?
we'll
He's
see.
going to be in the Winter Soldier
Yeah.
Falcon spin-off show
Yeah,
on
well, they
With
have
Disney
his
Plus.
They
purple
have-
sock mask.
So you have to get something for you to watch that. So. But yeah,
I did see as well, like a little movie detail which I really liked, that when Mysterio's describing why he hates Tony Stark, the memory is him, like Tony Stark being really derivative of the technology, and he's on stage and he's like, oh yeah, this technology, it's so crap. Quentin Beck made it. And the audience is laughing, and Quentin Beck like is in the background and he's all hurt. Jake Gyllenhaal. But if you go back and watch that scene, because it's in Captain America 2,
Civil War.
that whole scene is Iron Man coming out and being like really upset and really heartbroken and really, this technology is going to help a lot of people. So
Yeah.
it's just a nice way of them showing Quentin Beck is completely unstable.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, somebody put it side by side the other day, and I was like, "That's fucking genius."
Yeah, it's really
Like,
good.
It's really clever.
Yeah, the whole film was good, and the fact that like all the characters in his little group, like you
Popping
see them
up.
all before,
Yeah.
like you see Jake Gyllenhaal 3 or 4 times before he's introduced as Mysterio and stuff. And
Yeah.
I thought it was really good, a good
The
fun
best
Spider-Man film.
Part for me when it came to Spider-Man Far From Home was the pints I had with Ryan and before and after. The film was fine, I guess, but I just enjoyed going for the pints. So
It doesn't matter what you say, I'm still going to be mean to you.
I know. I mean, to be fair, it could have been pints with anyone. Didn't have to necessarily be you.
That just makes you sound like an alcoholic.
No, it's the company that I keep. I
He
keep good
is.
company.
Film number 2.
Film number 2 was... I feel like no one could see my list coming. Film number 2 was How to Train Your Dragon 3.
Oh, fuck off. Are you kidding?
Yeah.
No. Nope.
Why not?
I watched... This may be just partly me. I have never resonated with the How to Train Your Dragon series. I watched the first one. Watched the first one and I was like, that's fine. And then 2 and 3, I just don't give a fuck about that little black goblin thing. I just don't care.
I thought that
really
was going
don't.
in a different direction there for a sec. I got a bit worried.
Yeah.
That's because you're a racist.
That is because you're a racist.
Don't do that as I push the mic away to wipe my nose.
But go on.
Push
So,
the
like,
mic away to redraw your
like I'm not gonna shit on go
No,
on.
I really did resonate with
Yeah.
the How to Train Your Dragon films.
Hold on, you won't shit in his films, but you'll happily just laugh and shit on mine as they're being talked
Oh,
about.
no, I'll do it afterwards. I don't want to do it before. Like,
It's the way you tell them, Gav. But yeah, I think they've all had really good villains. I liked all the villains in them.
Yeah.
I do care about that little black goblin thing, as you called him. I think it was a really nice story. It was a really nice roundup.
It's nice to see Gerard Butler in a film where it's good.
he's not in the third one.
I wouldn't know. I've only seen the first one. I can't offer anything to this conversation. I've never seen. I've
He
never
dies
seen.
in the second one, and then I think
well,
he's in the third one as a
no, I don't need
flashback,
to watch the
maybe?
second one.
it
So
does
thanks,
some
Guy.
flashbacks and some.
Thanks for spoiling it.
Man, I'm sorry. I just don't care. It's in my list of. It's in my bucket of if this gets spoiled for anyone, I'm not upset. Like,
Oh, fuck, cheers.
I know.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's all right. I don't mind. It's okay.
But I know loads of people who love them.
I thought it was
them.
a nice conclusion to the series, despite the fact they've re-released a short Christmas film since. But yeah, like
And
it
you
was-
know How to Train Your Dragon 4 will be coming in 2021.
if how that's the thing though. If How to Train Your Dragon 4 is released,
We're
then
gonna
How to Train Your
re-record this-
Dragon 3 will be completely shot down.
We'll
Yeah.
re-record this episode, and you'll just
I'll decimate it.
You'll just like take back everything you say about how to train Dragon
Absolutely
3.
decimate. I'll be like that little fucking goblin bastard. But yeah, like as a conclusion to a really nice DreamWorks series, I really enjoyed it.
Cool.
And your favourite film of 2019, Ryan,
My favorite film
is...
of 2019 was The Last Black Man in San Francisco.
I knew that one was coming.
I knew that was coming.
Yeah, you did because I said it last week.
Said it last episode, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I loved it so much. I thought it was shot beautifully. The story was really nice.
Interesting that 2 of your favourite films this year you went to see with me.
Is that interesting?
That has no correlation.
Oh, I just thought I'd make a correlation, but apparently I'm not going to.
That's not interesting.
It is.
No, it's not.
Okay, I'll stop talking. You go. This is your
I
time.
love that I went with there's no correlation with that. And Ryan just went, that's not interesting. Shut the fuck up.
It's not.
It's your time to shine. I'll stop talking.
I'm not. I'm not even shining. I'm just repeating what I said last week. I just really loved the film. Everything about it was great. I really
Yeah.
loved the story. It was really humbling, really eye-opening, but in a nice way. Not in a fucking I need it to hurt me for days way.
But it just doesn't look as
Gav's
when you
doing the
do the
wank hands
hand
and
wank
really-
things. It
yeah.
just doesn't have the same
You
power.
do a weird thing with your mouth when you do it as well. It's kind of weirding me out. What are you doing?
Why is it so jerky?
I'm sorry, I've never got a blowjob before. I've only received them.
Out of the two of us, Gav has clearly never wanked anyone off.
Yeah,
Oh
I'm
god.
fine with that.
20 quid's 20 quid, mate.
I'm not even wanked it.
I'm kidding on. My hand jobs are worth way more than 20 quid. Yeah. So
yeah.
I've got some honourable mentions.
Go for it.
You've talked about so many fucking films, and I couldn't even mention 3 extra ones without getting shat on.
Yep. we said that you could mention your other 3 films, but you
We
just
did.
said the names of them.
Because I thought we were going to overrun time.
I also really enjoyed The King,
The King is good.
and I really enjoyed Klaus as well, which I watched last week. I had lots of crying.
Klaus is great. I think every time we do these things, I only ever think about the films that I watched at the cinema, and I always forget about films that have been released on Netflix.
That's why I record every single film you watch this year instead of just the ones at cinema.
I might need to do that next one for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, good list.
Thanks.
I enjoyed that.
What's my list? Do you-
Your list, I'm gonna make a point of watching these films that I haven't seen because if they're on the list of top films, it's worth my time.
I don't believe you.
I mean, I'm going to struggle through Capernaum because it's
Capernaum.
Why'd you keep saying Cat Burnham?
I just love her. I love her. Yeah, cool. My list.
Let's do it.
So mine was, I don't know, I kind of struggled. Like I've gone through my list of films I've seen at the cinema, and I was like, wait, what did I really enjoy? What did I really hate? I got two absolute worst films. I'm gonna do
Hold on again. This is
You broke the format. You did this.
yes, but
you
then
did this to us.
Okay, so I broke the format for you, and you both had a wee pissy fit. So then I returned to the format we said and did the format, and I used to just not doing the format.
Yeah,
doing
so
the
what you tell
format.
them, Gav?
I'm doing the. I'm doing the format. Listen to what I was about to say, you prick. I have two worst films, and I'll tell you the one that I originally thought was going to be the fucking bottom of my list, which is the shittest film I've seen all year, which was The Good Liar, and I think I've spoke about it briefly.
Oh, you went to town on it last week.
I did. Don't go see it. However, that has been replaced by an even worse film.
Oh, I know what it is.
Lucy in the Sky, which was the most nothing. I don't understand. It markets itself as she goes to space and she comes back and she doesn't understand a world anymore. But she fucking does. She just doesn't love her husband because he's Dan Stephen playing the shit-eatingest grin dickhead husband. He seems boring. I'd cheat on him. He's the fucking worst husband. And then she goes and cheats on him with John Hamm because why the fuck wouldn't you? And that's the whole movie. Except then she... Like, I thought it was going to be hallucinations and shit like that. Nah, she has a niece there and the niece starts following around and then she ends up just being a beekeeper at the end of the film.
I thought you were going to say a Nissan, and I thought, how's a Nissan
Why?
going to come into this?
Why is it called Lucy in the Sky?
At one point, they play Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. That's the only,
But I feel like-
reason I could...
She's like, surely that's an LSD reference as well, right? So
Reese Witherspoon produced that? And John Cameron.
James Cameron?
Not John Cameron.
Oh.
that's John.
I think I
Cameron's
got very confused. In my head, I had John Carpenter and James Cameron as one human being.
You're like, shit, they're
like, holy
fucking
fuck.
they're hybrid. Produced that with Reese Witherspoon.
But yeah, Reese Witherspoon produced it. It was just a fucking travesty, start to finish. I started falling asleep about 40 minutes in, and usually I'm like, oh fuck, right. I'll like sit up straight, and I'll try and I'll get out of my sleepy. I need to watch this film and give it its dues, and I fucking couldn't. I was just then like dozing the entire movie. It was so fucking dull. That's the first time this year that I've considered genuinely just leaving the cinema.
You should go and see Last Christmas.
I'm going tomorrow.
Are you? Oh, sorry, man.
The thing I'm quite worried about is the director of Lucy in the Sky. I liked his previous work with Fargo, the Fargo TV show, and then
Fargo TV show,
Legion. I liked some of that, but he's now tapped to do the next Star Trek movie.
It's fucked then. Sorry, Gavin.
there
I'm
it
sorry,
is.
Gavin. I'm sorry. It's fucked.
Oh no, there it is.
What?
The old ST mention.
Obligatory once per episode.
So,
Gonna squeeze Star Trek in.
Please, Noah Hawley, don't fuck up Star Trek.
Don't do
Any
it.
more than
Than
it's
it already is,
fucked
yeah,
up.
because Star Trek Discovery is a fucking pile of trash.
So my best films of the year. I'm going to try and avoid films that other people have said as well. So my list's changed a little touch, kind of just there, really.
Which of the two of us had films that you'd...
You touched on one which I am going to say.
Oh,
But,
that's very surprised. Was it Midsummer?
Midsummer as well was the other one. I had a bunch of things at the top, and I was going to kind of just throw them in the air and see what I said when I got to this point, because I like to live on the edge.
Like when you know what you want at a restaurant out of 3 things, but you decide when the waiter arrives.
Yeah, exactly. That's how I live by my life. But yeah, so my top 3 films. So I think my third favorite is Ready or Not. You see that? Did you see it in the end, Gav?
Nope.
It was a horror film where a woman joins a family. She gets married to them, and then she finds out that they have to play a game on the night of the wedding. And she pulls a card which says hide and seek, and she has to go and hide in the house. And they try and murder her throughout the evening. And it is, it's just this generation's cabin in the woods. So it's a, horror comedy. It's fucking genuinely very funny. It's a roller coaster ride the entire movie. It's just brilliant. Like, I sat through it and I was just so switched on. And I know it's not usual kind of like, thought provoking or like, it really touched me in a way but it was just, as far as films go where you just enjoy it, every single second of it, I was gobsmacked with it. It's funny. It's kind of got a good few jump frights. It's just good. Go watch it. Go watch Ready or Not.
Done.
It's cracking.
I feel like Ready or Not's one that's going to show up on Netflix soon, and I'll just be like, boop, play.
I do really hope you enjoy it as well, because I really hope it's like one of these films that I've gotten a good read on it, and I'm like, 'cause I'm telling everyone, I'm like, go watch Ready or Not if you've not seen it. And I just don't want you to come back and be like, oh, I watched Ready or Not,
It
Gary.
really
Here's
does not
another-
resonate with anyone you suggested it
Yeah.
to.
I was like,
Here's the
Gary, I'm
10-point list
just
of why it was terrible.
the weird like racism scene that seemed to be in support of racism. I didn't really get, so I'm like, And then the baby eating scene, I was like, what's this all about?
Well, like I think that is what's good about it as well. It does the kind of usual. It does the cabin in the woods thing where it's following a trope, and before it kind of starts throwing shit in the air and everything goes mad, which is when they start trying to kill her. And it's all in the trailers and everything was there. But considering how much I saw the trailers and like going the lead up to that film, I was still so happily surprised time and time and time again throughout the course of the movie. So yeah, go watch
wait,
it.
it's set in like. When's it set?
Set now, like modern day. 'Cause she's got like mobile phones and she's wearing Converse.
She looks super.
What?
She's got a lacy dress on. I thought it was maybe set in the.
No, it's like it's a
past.
wedding dress. It's like
Oh wait, I've seen the whole thing now. She's got Converse on. Okay, sorry, as we were.
second film, which you briefly touched on, is The Farewell.
I'm so surprised you've decided to talk about this.
I fucking loved it.
But I'm glad you're talking about it because it's also on my list, so it means I get to talk about it.
Yeah, no, The Farewell. It was oh man, it was just fucking heartwarming.
Another film you went to see with me at the cinema. It seems like
I
a
knew you
lot
were
of
gonna
people
bring that
like
up.
to,
I knew you were gonna bring it up the moment you said it to him.
people go to the cinema with me and watch films and they see magic apparently. So I'm just
we were
like,
meant to be going to see Downton Abbey, and you tricked me.
we were not supposed.
We were meant to see Downton Abbey, and you tricked me.
That
Aren't you,
sounds
gla-
like a trick that you can play on me absolutely anytime you want.
aren't you glad I tricked you?
Oh man, absolutely. But yeah, no, it was phenomenal. Like I fucking adored it. It starts off and I didn't really know what was going on, and because I thought we were watching Downton Abbey, so when the Asian music kicked in and it was in subtitles, I was very confused. But yeah, very quickly it kind of just turned into this really heartwarming, really touching, really just lovely film about
Family.
and death. And if you've kind of lost a loved one in any time recently, or I think at any point in your life,
Good luck getting through that film.
Yeah, fuck me. Like, I think we talked about it on mic. Where
I think we talked about it
did.
a wee bit, yeah.
Yeah, but just as a very quick one, I just sat in the cinema, started weeping.
Next to me.
And there's Gav. The credits start rolling, and I'm still just like sobbing. And Gav goes, "I'm just gonna wait outside, pal," and gives me one little tap on the back and fucks off.
I was like, I will give you some time because I'm not good with emotion.
So when Gav finds his friends in a really vulnerable state, how he'd like to see them in a film, to be honest, crying in the dark, he leaves them there.
Fucked it.
I gave you some time. I don't know. I don't know what you wanted. I was just like, I'm going to go outside, and you take your and you're like, thanks, pal. And I was like,
I
"Oh."
was gone.
I
I
also
was
really-
so far gone.
I also really needed to pee, so it's just like, it was like
And then for my third one, I was going to say Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, but that came out last year, didn't it?
yeah, it did come out last year.
So that fucked me on
you
that
also
one.
said that last year during our favorite and least
I?
favorite. Yes, you did.
Oh, fuck. Well, there you go. But I seen it again this year. I seen it,
That
I
was
seen
my
it at the
problem.
beginning of the year.
I kept going, oh, Bad Times There. No, it came out last year. I just watched it this year.
So my top one, as I said, you kind of said Midsummer, you said Spider-Man. My other top one, one of the best films I saw all year, if not the best film I saw all year, was a remaster of Ghostbusters that I
Nope.
saw 3
Nope.
weeks ago, 4 weeks ago.
Nope.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to do the 4K restoration of Apocalypse Now and the Alien, and I thought no. 'Cause
Alien was close, man.
That's
I went
a
for
cheap
Ghostbusters.
one, and I'm not going to do it. So
Man,
fuck
everything
you.
else was terrible. I didn't see anything else that I thought was worth even bothering to mention. Like,
I'm surprised you didn't mention Apocalypse Now because you talk about it all the time.
like,
Because it's one of the best films ever made.
Yeah, well, why didn't you mention it?
Because it didn't come out this year.
Yeah, well, it was remastered.
It doesn't count.
I think. Yeah, well, as we've discussed, you set the parameters for these episodes. You could have.
I didn't want to be cheap. I wanted to talk about films that came out this year that deserved.
Oh,
some...
I know what I fucking saw this year. I didn't realize it was this year. Booksmart. There you go.
Oh God.
There you go. Top of the. There you go. Booksmart. Booksmart.
Did you text him about that?
No. I've just gone through my listing and I've seen it, and I was like, I genuinely thought that was last year.
I've got another
Booksmart
one.
is now up there.
That actually reminds me. I forgot. I had The Lion King as the worst. I've got another one. It's Booksmart. That's the other one.
Off, Gavin. Booksmart was a fucking great movie. That was genuinely funny. It's super bad. It's the modern day super bad, which isn't a bad thing, and it just does
It's
it.
a
in
bad thing.
It does it brilliantly. How is it a bad thing? Just because it's not a film that you like,
Yeah.
prick. Booksmart is a touching coming of age story for like today's day and age, and it's empowering for women, which is important as well, especially. Because there's just so many films nowadays. Like, if you do go back and watch Superbad, it's fine, but it's so fucking, like, masculine. And it's just so, like, dick
Lads,
jokes
lads,
and
lads.
fart jokes and lads. And Booksmart's pulling the same trick with, a female-led cast. And it just somehow is still so much more highbrow than Superbad. but it follows the same fucking stupid beats. Why are you rolling your eyes, you fuck?
No, I'm just looking around the room deciding if I want to engage in a discussion that will turn into an argument, of course.
Geez
Or-
it.
Go on.
It's so not what you're saying it is.
It is.
It's not.
Why?
It is, and I've said this before in a podcast, I'm pretty
Say
sure.
it again right fucking now.
Booksmart is a further example of this mind-warped Hollywood idea of high school life, but instead of it being about a geeky boy who's like down and treated bad and all these other cool kids around him, well, now it's about two geeky girls and they go on these wild rides and they go to parties and all the parties are fucking wild and there's drugs and there's all. It's like
Most girls in films end up being portrayed as the geeky one. That's a genuine misconception. It's never usually a boy.
okay, that's fantastic.
And,
but-
and on top of that, the film very, very clearly at the beginning says, look at our two geeky, stereotypical girls that have spent the whole year studying, and then shows you a bunch of other kids that are like, yeah, we spent the whole year getting drunk and fucking each other, and
P.S.
we're all getting through college, so...
You clearly didn't go to very good parties when you were in high school.
I do think that's the problem. That seems to be the issue you have, because I went to some fucking rages when I was in high school.
It's not
I went to some of the best parties I've ever been to in high school.
It's not the parties. It's the characterization of the people in the movies.
Americans.
But then Booksmart, on top of that, has a scene where they walk into the party that you seem to hate so much. And
I
you're
don't
like,
hate the party. I have no problem with the
No,
party.
right. But you were talking like, oh, yeah, but the film's unrealistic. She walks into the party, sees the boy that she fancies, and then the boy does a fucking salsa dance towards her, and she goes into a fucking... Like, it's clearly not taking itself seriously.
No, but people are taking it seriously. The
No
people,
one takes that scene seriously.
the people watching the film take it seriously. That this is the greatest coming of age movie for any young girl. And I'm like, what? And what?
Harry just described
world
it as the
is-
next Superbad. I don't think that's a big comment. Like, I'm pretty sure Lady Bird might have been the greatest coming of age
No, but
movie in the last few years for a young girl.
And I agree it is.
I don't think Booksmart is anyone thinks that.
that's exactly what people think Booksmart is,
I think
because
they do,
there's
but I think it's
literal
because-
headlines of people saying that.
I think it's because Booksmart has come out and it's the Superbad for this generation. It's for women, and it does do a good job of kind of showing like you don't have to be a fucking like you can go out there and be your own woman. You don't have to fucking.
As none of us
bow
are
down.
women, we can't talk about it. We don't have the right, but we can speculate.
That's true. That's true. It's very, very.
And
fucking
Gary
true.
and I will speculate correctly, and Gav will speculate wrong.
Of
Because
course I
Gavin
will.
is a sexist
I'm not.
and a racist.
Do you like Superbad?
No,
You don't like that either.
No.
Why do you hate Superbad?
Can't imagine the parties.
because it's just dumb stoner comedy.
So you don't like the dumb stoner comedy of Superbad? That's all you. That's the only bad thing you have to say about that film.
I mean, the characters are really unpleasant. They're over. What's the word? They are. What's the word?
Overly cartoonish.
No. Yes, we'll go for overly cartoonish. Sure, that works. They're overly cartoonish.
Was
And
that actually the word you're after, or was it just getting embarrassing how long it was taking you to?
I was getting embarrassed. I don't actually think of the word. I couldn't think of the word.
So that's why you don't like Superbad.
I mean, I haven't watched Superbad in a really long time.
Tell us why you don't like Booksmart again.
Booksmart is just this bizarre Hollywood dream of what high school life is like for kids, and I'm just bored of these movies that just continue to come out, like fucking Edge of 17 and all that kind of bullshit. We're just like, hey, life is hard for kids, and oh wait, but they've got a lot of money and actual no problems whatsoever, and everything's fine by the end. Because
When did that happen in Booksmart?
what do you mean when that happened in
In
Booksmart?
Booksmart, it makes a very clear point of neither of them are like rich families. They have to borrow their dad's car to go out.
They're the fucking size of their houses. They're fucking fine.
That's
Sorry,
that's
they're
middle class.
fine.
That's middle class white America.
Materials
what
in
problems
America
they're
are really
having.
cheap, so it's really it's a lot cheaper to buy your houses, so your houses can be bigger depending on your family's income. So they might appear like they've got lots
Like
of money.
if it's
actually
if it's
just
set in the
building
suburbs,
materials.
which it is, houses are bigger in general. That's true for anything.
Cheaper, mate.
Look at Breaking Bad. The whole fucking point of Breaking Bad at the beginning is that they don't have enough money to live and survive and get by. They're really struggling, except they live in a fucking gigantic house.
They don't live in a gigantic house.
They
house
live in the
isn't
same size house that they live in Booksmart.
You could fit that house into this flat.
What, in Breaking Bad?
Yeah.
Their house
What
isn't
the fuck are you
their
talking
house,
about?
I wouldn't say their house was gigantic.
Not gigantic,
But
it's
it's
a
got a
big
pool.
house. Yeah.
Doesn't mean, everyone's got a pool.
Well,
That's
and
just American
I imagine
life.
most people do have pools in Albuquerque, but it doesn't mean their pools are free.
That's true.
I do think you've got like this warped thing about American life. Like you don't
I've
seem
got
to
this.
like the.
I've got this. I am sick of teen high school drama movies.
Do you know who's not? The high consumer of films. So they're going to keep making them, so dry your fucking eyes.
I'm not crying about it.
All films can't hurt us.
I'm just
Some
sick.
films have to be
I'm
fun.
just sick of
they
a
can't
movie
all
like
be
that coming
sad.
out and people crying it to be the
Green
greatest
Book
thing
wasn't
to
as
happen.
bad as you said it was.
Oh no, I disagree with that. Green Book was terrible.
Green Book was fucking
I
travesty.
just tried to slip that in and see if I could get rid of it.
But I suppose, like, to counterpoint what you were saying, Gav, I do what I find interesting in these conversations is you're like, I just fucking sick of the coming of age teenage dramas. It's like, cool. I'm fucking sick of all the sad, mopey films that try and make me feel things. Like, just give me Ready or Not. Your list was just 3 films that are like
6.
artsy, wanky, fucking touchy feely.
Also, wasn't the
these
film
are gonna
you-
make me cry, and it's fine that you like them, but there's a fucking shit ton of them.
Wasn't
But
the
I don't
film you
sit there
mentioned
and-
earlier
but
a
he-
Lebanon coming of age film?
It's not a Lebanon coming of age film.
I'm kidding.
But the difference with those
I'm fishing, I'm
6 like emotional, wanky, whatever you want to call them, pretentious films, is they all span a broad range of people, stories, places in the world, all this sort of stuff. Your high school teen drama kind of focuses on one very specific thing all the time, and the narrative is very much the same all the time, and I just don't care anymore. It's the same with when fucking Spider-Man Homecoming came out. And I was like, this is the greatest fucking superhero film ever made. I went, no, it isn't, because it's a high school teen drama boring shit movie. We're just like, oh, I hope she likes me and takes me to the dance. I don't give a fuck
what you
about
used
the
to,
dance.
But that's legit. Like that's the stuff you used to think about when you were in high school.
And guess what? I don't want to think about high school.
Remember, right, that's what it comes
Yeah,
down
exactly.
to. That's
There
what it
it
comes
is.
down to. Is
You
Gav
had
had
a
a
shitty
shitty time in high
childhood.
school, and now he hates all these films.
I- what-
Remember in high school when a song came out about like loving a girl and you used to sing it as if it was your fucking
Yeah.
mantra. You never even kissed anyone in your life. Like you were
I used to
stupid in
sing-
high school.
I broke up with my first girlfriend, Laura Burns, and then I
Shout out to Laura.
burned Hoobastank the Reason to a CD and gave it to her, and I was like, "This is about me. I feel so bad for us," and I
You're
cried giving it to her
not
because it was fucking speaking for my soul. It's all bollocks, Gav. But for fuck's sake, don't be so bent about it now. You're a grown man. You can appreciate these films exist.
No, they could
You
exist.
don't have to hate them with such a fucking vehement.
I don't hate them. I'm just.
You fucking clearly
I don't
hate
hate
them.
it.
man,
I'm
you're-
just bored
You're
of them.
talking like you hate it.
I'm so bored
Oh,
of
dude,
them.
I've never seen Gavin so animated. He's rosy.
That's not
It
true.
is mad. You do get seriously pissed off about this.
Yeah, you do.
Because people talk about it like it's this great fucking masterpiece
People
of
like
film.
it.
I love the first 2 American Pie films. I don't. I'm just fishing again.
But like, it's just like
Stop fishing.
What's-
You're bad at fishing.
people just like it. People like these films, and I
Good-
get
good
you
for
don't
them.
like them. I get you don't like them, but
Yeah.
But what you need to do is just change the way you talk about it. From like,
Just accept it.
you're gonna change it from. I fucking hate these films because they're all shit and terrible. To I can appreciate that these films aren't for me, but other people can enjoy them.
And now we're going to cut back to the start of the podcast where we said, "And today's episode we're going to be more positive because we're always really negative about
What was the
films."
point in this conversation?
Yeah, where did because
I said I like Booksmart.
and you said you didn't like
And
it.
then
But
you
instead
were
of
like-
just saying like remember earlier when I said How to Train Your Dragon and Gav was like, "Oh, I didn't really resonate with those films," and then Gary just explained
Hey,
it.
do you remember that? You remember that whole going like
Yeah.
I don't like those films.
Gary
but-
said Booksmart, and he's like, "You're a fucking cunt. All these films are shit."
you do go in hard.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I just
Do
think
you know in the IT
I
crowd
just wanted
when
to
like
talk about my films and no one let me.
when Jen's on her period and they really like they portray it really
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 badly.
sexistly to be
Really
honest.
badly.
But that is you.
Well, this has been a fun
Thanks for
episode.
listening.
I've really not enjoyed this episode at all. So this has been so much fun, everyone. Anyway, you can follow us on social media.
Now let's do the wrap. So guys, thank you so much for listening to our best and worst of 2019. Hopefully you can go watch all 9 of those films, or 12 if you take Gavin's 3 extras.
You all had extras.
We all had extras.
Like 25 if you take all the films.
If
we've
you take all the films that we said we really enjoyed, you've probably got a solid 20 movies to go
Treat
and
yourself
watch.
as well if you're feeling a little masochistic, and just go watch all the films we said were shit as well.
Yeah, go
Maybe you'll
for it.
disagree.
You might disagree. And you
Apart
know
from
what?
Last Christmas, which is bad.
We got a couple of things we want to say. This is our 52nd episode. So we have now got 1 full year of content. You could listen to 1 a week for a year, and then you'd be a year behind. So you should try and listen to 2 a week, and you'll catch up to us, and you can listen to us live. But it's been a cracking year. We started small, and we haven't really gone much
And
from
we're
there.
still small.
I mean, we started like you and I with just a single mic sitting between us. The audio quality wasn't great. And then one day,
Look at
Audio
us
Boy was
now.
just sitting there. He's just like, I could just do all this.
I could just do it.
Much better. And he joined us, and it was the 3 of us for a very long time, just
now
trying
we
to
got Skittles.
figure this whole out. And then Skittles joined.
Taste the rainbow.
We do
And
love
probably
having
by
you.
this time next year, I won't be on the podcast anymore, and it'll just be Gary
This
Audio
is the
Boy and
slowest
Skittles.
political coup you've ever seen.
But guys, thank you so much for being with us on this journey. Hopefully next year is going to be even better. That does bring us to the one thing we are looking for. We're going to be talking about the best films of the decade in the couple. I
It's
think
coming.
we're going to be doing an episode. Are we doing an episode each for
Yes.
it?
Yeah.
So the best films of the decade. We're going to do one episode each. So you're going to have 3 chances. Email us in your best films, or Facebook Messenger, or text, or Instagram, however you want to do it.
Gav's
But
still
send
looking
us.
for the fax machine. We'll get it soon.
But please send us your best movies. We'd love to talk about them. We'd love to see what you guys think would be the best films, the ones that are going to stand the test of time for the next 10 years, maybe 20, 30, 100 years to come. What made the year 2010 to 2020 pop in the world of Hollywood and cinema? And yeah, we'll get chatting about that in the new year.
I promise not to shit on your decisions too much.
You don't make that promise.
Okay, good.
I make no promises of that kind.
That is it from us. As always, you can get in touch with us to send us your best films. We wanted to say this now, nice and early. We'll be talking about this over the next couple of weeks because we want to make sure you get them in. But you can send it to us on the Gmail,
Yes.
the Meandering Movie Podcast at gmail.com. You can also send it to us on Facebook and Instagram. Just search for us at the Meandering Movie Podcast. Twitter is at Meandering Pod. And yeah, that's pretty much us. Anything you guys want to plug? Except my butt.
If you are on iTunes or Spotify, everything you need is in the description down below. And yeah, get those movies in, and I'll just start collecting like a wee list of them, and then we'll talk about your movies on like leave your name and stuff, and like maybe why you like the movie. Just give us something.
Yeah,
and then
give us a little description of what you liked about the film or what you didn't like about the film. Because
Yeah.
you know what? You know how negative we are. If you've got a film that you fucking think is the... Actually, do that. Like what we've just done. Send us your 3 best films of the last 10 years and one film that you think should be scrapped from history.
Room 101.
Yeah, and we'll discuss them. I was going to say as well, it was quite hard thinking of like one film that I hated most, because the ones that I
Yeah.
thought like I hated, I've just forgotten. Like I've tried to
same.
forget. So that's why you know the films that we've all said are the worst, because they've stuck in there for being
In their
so
heads.
fucking shit.
So again,
When's this coming out? This comes out pretty close to
This will be
Crimble,
coming
right?
out pretty close to Christmas, yeah. So Merry Christmas as
after
well.
Christmas,
I think
before
it's the day after Christmas this comes
Day
out.
after?
Christmas is a Monday, and we release episodes on
Christmas
Thursday.
is a Wednesday.
Is it?
Because Christmas is always the same
This
day
is
that my
Boxing Day?
birthday is. Yes, it's
Is this
Boxing
coming
Day.
out Boxing Day?
Yeah.
Okay. I was going to plug something, but it doesn't matter.
Oh, okay.
Cool. So guys, thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for being with us for the last year, and we will see you in 2020.
Peace out, shaggers.
Hi guys, we just wanted to say that is the end of season 1 of the Meandering Movie Podcast.
Whoop, whoop.
We managed to do 52 whole episodes. We have come on a journey, as Gavin said. And,
Disclaimer, I really don't deserve any credit. I've not done 52 episodes.
you did 5?
Yeah. I've done like
I
2
think
months worth.
That out of all of us, I'm the only one who hasn't missed an episode. So
Says a lot about what's going on in your life.
I have nothing else but this podcast. So
I've done
well, I guess
I
Audio
think
Boy
I've done-
hasn't missed one either.
I've done 7 episodes in
I guess,
total.
no, Audio
Is
Boy
that-
wasn't in the first couple of episodes.
I've done 5 as a compadre and
Okay, we're
2
not
as
fucking measuring dicks here, boys.
But
That's the end of season
mine
1.
is tiny.
Well, that's not true, Chopper.
That's the that's the end of season 1 of the Meandering Movie Podcast. If you don't see an episode come up from us in the next couple of weeks, don't worry, we will be back. We're just gonna be taking a break, trying to get our ducks in a row, all of our eggs in one basket, kind of thing. No, putting all of eggs in separate baskets.
Gavin's going to rehab.
Gavin's gonna dry him out.
Imagine that's why we were pausing, because I was going to rehab.
Yeah, Gavin. Imagine.
Imagine.
If you don't see an episode, we will be back. Don't worry. We're just going to get some things organized. Maybe even a new theme tune if Audio Boy fancies doing something.
Nope.
Ah,
I ain't got time.
Give us a season 2 theme tune.
Audio Boy is eating.
Do you
naan
write
bread
my
right now.
intern report for my thesis?
Yeah,
Yes. We'll do that if you write a fucking.
I'll
awesome
100%
Right.
do that. I have no problem doing that.
Okay.
I already know how the season 2 theme tune is going to go, which is going to be the exact same thing, but him saying season 2 over it. And that's it.
It's me and Aaron movie season 2. Done.
Thank you so much for listening. We will be back, and
Yes.
we'll speak to you soon.
We love you, we appreciate you, and we're gonna make this so much better.
Thank you guys
Thank
for
you.
your time.
My butt.
Bye.
Music is life.
It's meandering movies. It's meandering movies. It's meandering movies. So won't you